So workshop objectives, why are we here today? We're on a mission. So NASA sees this as an opportunity to provide a service to you, to provide a service to the community. And so our goal is to transfer many of the lessons that we've learned over the last few years to you the best that we can. So it's not for us, it's for you, and primarily for industry operators. So what do I mean by that? Industry is composed of airline operators, airport operators, solution providers, aka vendors, and also academia. So really happy looking out across the room, and for the folks that registered, about 75% really kind of fit that market, and that's wonderful. So together we will also identify emerging needs and markets. As Akbar mentioned, we don't really define the market, right? But together we can kind of help identify what it is so that you can begin making those investments. Provide a deeper understanding of the transformational potential of the future surface system. So, we sometimes overuse the word transform, but we've taken the future ideas that will be rolled out in the Terminal Flight Data Manager that Mike Huffman will tell you about here briefly, and essentially taking it for a test drive. And the good news we have to report is that we've seen some really big benefits from that. We do believe it will be very transformational, not only for the capabilities it provides, but the data that comes from it, and enable industry, you guys, to meet the upcoming objectives. So TFDM, this big surface system that's coming to an airport near you, has a government component or an FAA component, and it has an industry component. And this is really the first system, to my knowledge, where right out of the gate, both of those pieces have to be operating, well together. So this is really focused on that industry piece of that. Those are our objectives, and we're going to endeavor to meet those. There's a lot of great content. I'm obviously biased, but it's not just NASA content, but people from other organizations that are here to present materials to achieve these objectives. How can you help? First of all, to engage. We do want this to be an engaging experience. Ask questions, give feedback, add relevant comments. We will have note takers in each room. They will be at a reserved seat, as these folks are. Would you mind raising your hand? Melody and Stuart. So if you have a point to make in one of these sessions and time runs out, time will run out. There's a lot of content. I think there's going to be a lot of great discussion. Please make for sure the note takers have your question, because what we will do is take those questions and endeavor to answer them as a part of the artifacts of this venue, okay? Help keep us on schedule. Like you, we value on-time performance. We're doing good right now. And as part of that, Lindsay, if you wouldn't mind making the chime sound that you'll hear. There you go. Thank you. So that's the nice, peaceful end to a session. And that's the signal that it's now time to progress to the next venue, okay? Help us identify any remaining tech transfer needs. One of the major outcomes of this event for us is the ATD-2 project has 1 year left, fiscal year 20, to execute. So if we hear a lot of the same questions, if we have a lot of the same kind of needs, we still have time to tech transfer things to you. So although we initially tried to host this event during the government shutdown in January, many of you know the story, really, that was a blessing in disguise. We're able to add more material to this. We're able to take your tech transfer needs and then go back and do our homework and then deliver those. How will we deliver to that? We're not having another workshop on ATD-2's Diamond Time, but we do plan to have webinars. Many of you have been to our webinars in the past. They've been a pretty successful way to engage, also pretty inexpensive for us to support. So we're taking a list and creating some of the webinars. You'll see we've already planned one tomorrow. I'll mention one of the webinars we have planned. Additional documentation. We are an agile shop. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's agile software principles, and one of the principles is don't over-document. And the reason for that is because if you spend a lot of time documenting up front, then you have less time to develop the software, right? But we do have a lot of documentation. There's already 3,100 pages out there. Who here has read all 3,100 pages? Last night, all right. Must have stayed at Holiday Inn Express. No, this venue is great too. It's great. Well, what we found is informal tech transfers are often more effective. I mean, the documentation is great, but venues like this where you can ask questions and engage have been pretty successful for us. But if we need additional documentation, I want to hear about it. And our team will work on that, as well as software artifacts. There are a couple of major components of the system that we plan to make available in an open source-like manner. It might not be completely GitHub open source, but we're still working through those details. But if we need more of those software artifacts, I'd like to hear about it. Also, a way you can help is to share these materials with your organization. Very thankful for the turnout today, but I know there are others that wanted to make it today that couldn't, whether it be Hurricane Dorian or whether it just be that you're busy, you know. But all of these materials will be made available online, including the video. So a note here that this is being recorded. All right, so anything you say can and will be used against you. These sessions will be made available online as well. So for some of the feedback I've gotten is, Al, you know, I really wanted to be in these two sessions at the same time and I can't, you know, clone myself. Well, don't worry, because that session will be recorded and the content will be made available to you. And even when ATD-2 project closes out, we will make for sure those artifacts are in a location that they're still available to you in the future. All right, so that's how you can help. The presentation materials, it's great to take notes, but please just know that all of the presentations you will see in the great breakout sessions are made available on the same site that you went to when you registered. So if you can remember that location, you will know where the presentation materials are. I will also notify everyone who is registered, or someone from the team will, when those materials are posted. We do have some slides that we're still gathering, and they'll all be posted up and made available, and email will be sent out. The engagement at the workshop, this is something I'd like to pause on for a moment before we have our first panel. And oh, there you go. So this is actually, if we can go back to the slide, please. Thank you. And then we'll switch over in just a second. What we're using at this conference is called what we call it the Conference I/O system. And the reason we're doing that is to encourage audience engagement. Because if you're in the audience and you raise your hand, you're one person asking a question, right? But if you engage through this app, and the way you can engage in the app, you can do it from your phone. In fact, I'm going to do it from my phone right now. But just go to the link, the top link there that says QZNR is for this room. So for the entire time we're at the conference, the workshop, if you want to pose a question to the moderator of the panel or of the discussion, you can use this system. And we will clear it out in between the different sessions. So I have actually logged on with my phone. I went ahead and bookmarked it. Once I put this in, I would encourage you to go ahead and do that in preparation for the upcoming panel. And I'm just going to ask a question here. Let's see. Now, once someone posts a question, you actually, so I ask, what's the latest on Dorian? Well, you know, maybe there was a time at a conference where the moderator's job was to inform you of the news, but I'm pretty sure you guys know more about it than I do. This might not be one that I would answer. Oh, wow, it already got 9 upvotes. See the little up symbol there? So more people, so if you see a question on there that you like, you can upvote it. And the great thing about that is that allows us to know that's essentially 16 people that are asking that question, and we can pull from that, right? So the good old-fashioned raising your hand does work still. And feel free to raise your hand or tug on somebody who's already connected and say, hey, put this question in for me. That's all fine. But I wanted to spend a moment explaining how to engage with that system. Now notice The breakout rooms also have their own conference I/O systems. So this is one of the rooms. There's 2 other breakout rooms down the hall. And if you would like to connect to those as well and ask, you can. Just look at your the materials that are in your folder for these web addresses. All right, I will go ahead and invite the panel up while I continue with some of the agenda and logistics. This morning's agenda, this excellent panel that we have, I'm really excited about. I think you guys are going to enjoy that. So we are where the big yellow arrow is with the orange boundary. You are here. And we're going to have a break at 10 o'clock. And after that break, that luxurious 15-minute break, you'll notice that some of the breaks are 10 minutes. We have 23 hours of novel content that we plan to present in the next 2 days. So in order to do that, we do have to run ATD-2 pace here. And so a lot of the breaks will be 10 minutes after this first break. But we'll start you off with a 15 one. And then after that, we'll go into the breakout sessions. So breakout 1, topic A will be in this room. Topic B will be down the hall in Trinity 2. And breakout topic C will be at Park West. The demo room, so the entire time that we have this workshop, there is a demo room far down the hall. You'll see the IADS banner outside of the door. And we have the systems running if you would like to see the latest demonstration. Right next to the demo room are the people that need access to the live system. So all of the breakout sessions that need that access will be right next door to that. So I want to briefly describe and kind of show you the decoder ring, if you will, to the agenda, and then we'll get our panel started. The yellow track is focused on surface system capabilities. So if you really are eager to learn on what we call TFDM precursor, which is a word that Carol Hugel here actually coined that we've been using. So, and it's a really nice way to describe it because the work that NASA has done in preparation for TFDM has a definitive end, but it is to help usher that in. So that begins, as you can see, with topic B with a demo of the system. The orange session is about, it's more analytically focused, more data nut focused. You know, so for those of you who are interested in that, that starts in topic C. So you'll notice that on the consumption of swim data, that is a major job to consume it and to fuse it together. But what do you do with the data after that? You know, how do you evolve that into specific metrics that you can use? Our team has spent a lot of time working those challenges, and so we're eager to share that with you in that breakout session. The gray is more operationally focused. What I mean by that is we have some recently retired personnel helping our team that are very familiar with operations, as well as active controllers today from Charlotte and DFW that will be helping us on those threads, as well as folks from the industry side on the operational side. So that's the gray track. And then the green track is more of the future leaning stuff. This is new stuff that we can add into the agenda thanks to having it when we did now.